Hi and welcome to the second part of the mixdown lesson. In the first lesson we focused on the beats. Now what we're going to do is do the instruments, which is the synth and the sax, and then the vocals and the organ sound, the church breakdown that we did. Okay, so again, looper selection where the main body is. And we've got the sax here. And what we're going to do with the sax is, if we go over to here and check the sends, we've got some reverb on there and some delay also. So what we need to do is just EQ it. Just a bit of hiss in there, so maybe take the bottom end out. Put the bass on and the kick. So really, if you can just tell what I've just done, I've just raised the top quite a bit on that because it's a brass instrument, it's quite airy anyway, so we'll take the bottom end out of that. Just turn the volume down on your mixing desk a bit, so just that it blends in perfectly with the track, and just play about with that really. So with the sax, just a bit of top end. So that works quite nice. What we're going to do next then is the R vocal. And not really a lot needs doing to that really, it just needs the top, putting on so that the bass can ride over it. Okay, so put the air vocal on. And we need to give that a bit of a boost really, the air, it's quite low isn't it? So let's stick an EQ on it and just a really nice top end on that, really brings that air vocal out. And just take it down, touch if it needs to be, if it's too piercing. Okay, so just save that. So it's really starting to take shape now, it's really starting to sound good and clear, and everything's starting to find its own space. Now then, the next thing we're going to do is the synth. EQ. Put the bass on. And a kick. What you want to do with that synth is really just to have it so it's not piercing. You don't want it too low. You could even pan it slightly. Just pan it slightly so that it just doesn't clash with the bass as much, but it's sounding okay. It's trebly and it's thick enough. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is the deep vocal. So let's just loop that section. And this needs quite a bit of the bottom end taken out because it's quite muddy. It needs to keep some of the mid-range really, just to keep a little bit of deepness, but we don't want too much of the bottom end on. So hopefully if you can just kind of see where I'm trying to guide you with this is to, you know, I keep going on about it, but it's important to try and have as many things just as top endy as you can really. I'm just going to try and put a little bit more bass, a little bit more EQ on the bass. Okay, so just save that. Now for the boom, really we just need to that just needs to come down slightly in the mix. So it's just impacted, so it doesn't go, you know, so it just goes, so it's just there in the mix. As you can see, I've just turned it down slightly, and I'm just going to stick a little bit of reverb on because it's already got a reverb built into the effect. So what we need to focus on really is the church feeling sound. I think what we need to do is get a bit of bottom end on that. Try and bring out some of the warm bottom end of that. As you can hear that, it gives it a bit of beef. Okay, so the vocal, the female vocal. Just take some of the middle out. Maybe raise it a bit. And probably put some more delay on there, just a little bit. Maybe not. Okay, really that's all there is to it. What we're going to do next is we're going to do a basic mastering session. That's as good as we're going to get it in this tutorial. You could spend a lot longer on it, obviously, EQing things and getting things just right. So, but all I've given you is a basic outline. So your kicks and your bass, always try and get them as beefy as you can, and your hi-hats and your percussion and your synths and your vocals, try and have the top end on them so there's a fine balance there. And with the church organ, just kind of make sure that the warmthness comes out of it. So yeah, that's it really. Play with the bottom ends and the top ends, as I say, and what we need to do now, once it's done, is just go to the whole track so you can see it. Let's get rid of this introduction that I've done. Don't need that. What we're going to do is we're going to bounce it over. So also get a vocal, deep vocal, or whatever, a crash if you want, or whatever, and put it about there at the end of the track on its own, so that when it bounces it doesn't just cut off. I mean, we've got that anyway, that should be okay, but in general, if you've got a track that just ends with like a beat or a crash like that, it would cut off the delay. So if you're not aware of that, that is. So add a bit there further away from the rest of the track so that when it bounces it picks it up, and we can edit that out in the next stage. Go to your master volume and turn it down to about halfway, about there, like that, okay, so that when we bounce it we've got plenty of headroom to master the track. So I would say about halfway. Just check the volume so it's nice and quiet. Make sure that none of your levels are in the red, which they're not. They're all quite low, which is good for mixing down. Right, so go to the start of the track, make sure you save it, export, OK, Deep House 2014, and away we go. Okay, now that that's rendered and we've bounced it over, what we need to do is head over to the next lesson where we're focused on the mastering. Okay, so don't forget to email me if you have any problems or any questions, and I'll respond within 24 hours. Thanks for watching. Bye.